Hey, welcome to Planet Hex. I'm Andrew Horton. This is a show where I talk about a lot of retro stuff, usually VHS tapes, movies, pop culture, music, games, comic books, the writing life, and a bunch of other stuff. Today I'm going to do a follow-up to a video I did a few months ago where I first got my Evercade EXP. It's a great handheld retro gaming device that allows old nerds like me to play stuff that we remember from the arcades and the days of various consoles, home computers, arcade games, and a lot more. This is a really cool unit, but how does it hold up over time? Let's get this fired up and find out. So I reviewed the Evercade EXP a few months ago. I was desperate to get hold of one of these. I'd heard good things about the previous version, and I'd heard good things about the VS, which is the one you could attach to TV. So I got myself an Evercade EXP. I got myself some cartridges, and I love it. I love it. So the EXP itself comes bundled with a bunch of Capcom games, as you can see there, and it also came with the IRAM cartridge that has things like R-Type on it, In the Hunt, Lightning Swords. There's some great things on here, and I've been able to revisit some games that I really loved when I was much younger. So the most recent one was by Toplan Arcade 2. It's got things like Demon's World, Twin Hawk, Twin Cobra, Hellfire on it. Some great stuff on there. We've got Interplay that's got like Clay Fighter, Earthworm Jim, Boogerman on it. There's lots of retro titles here that mean a lot to people. Currently plugged into the handheld, I've got Namco 2, so that's things like Pack Attack, Galaga, the Splatterhouse 2 and 3. There's some cool stuff on there. Also got like Renovation, and one that was a beautiful thing recently was Team 17, which allows me to replay Alien Breed 2, and Alien Breed Tower Assault. I loved the Alien Breed games when I had an Amiga as a teenager. The cartridges are dirt cheap, honestly. Compared to most games now, they are dirt cheap, and you've usually got about half a dozen games on or more. In some cases way more than that. It is really worth checking out if you're a bit of a retro fan. So you get a little cartridge like that, you get a booklet that's in there as well. It's nice to have some physical media, and the cartridges just slot into the back like that. They're really easy to put in. So how does it hold up? Well, the battery life is the big thing that came to mind when I was originally reviewing the EXP. I'd heard a lot about the battery life being really iffy. What I found with this one, the battery life is fantastic. It lasts absolutely ages. I'm getting a good 5-6 solid hours of use before it goes down to like 1 bar, and I'm really pleased with it. If you look underneath Capcom there on the screen, you can see Doodle World. Now, this is a nice thing. This is a really appreciated thing that with this EXP, is that whenever you do an update, if you do like a monthly update, or just update the software, connect to the Wi-Fi, update the software, you get another game downloaded, and you don't get to keep them beyond that initial download when you do the update. But they are really cool. Doodle World Redrawn is a really fun platformer that's literally done like a doodle on a notepad. It's really cool. There are also hidden games. Apparently there's another hidden game. I've got to go and find that. I'm not going to show you what those are. If you want to go and discover what they are, get yourself an EXP. But there are 5 hidden games on there. It looks like now there's 6, so that's exciting. So just go through the menu here. The initial menu, it's got 1942, 1943, 1944, Bionic Commando, Breath of Fire, Captain Commando, Commando, Final Fight, Forgotten Worlds, Ghouls and Ghosts, Legendary Wings, Mega Man, Which Mega Man is it? Yes, Mega Man. Mega Man 2, Mega Man X, Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting, Strider, Vulgus, and Mercs, War of the Battlefield Mercs. So there's 18 games on it initially, even without putting a cartridge in. And there's on the IRAM cartridge that came with, there's 6. So yeah, you've got 24 games there, plus 5, now 6 hidden ones. So that's 30 games just by buying the initial unit. I've got a mini HDMI plugged in here, which is what you're seeing it playing on. So to access the cartridge, just go up to the cartridge icon, and you can see what I've got on here. I've got Namco on here, so I've got a Burning Force, Dig Dug, Dragon Spirit, Galaga, Pack Attack, and so on. And these games are excellent. Not sure if the audio will carry over to this entirely. This is the first time I've tried this cable, so do bear with me. So if I just went to play Splatterhouse 3, just select Splatterhouse 3, and you go into it there. And then it takes a few seconds for it to boot up and get to that part of the game, that gets to that part of the cartridge. But it's absolutely fine. It doesn't take too long at all, and the games are a lot of fun. It's really nice to revisit these things. There's 8-bit games, there's 16-bit games, there's some things that are much higher, like the Amiga ones on the Team 17 cartridge. There's things that you never thought you would see again. I also like there's a lot of arcade ones, like the Renovation cartridges that are available, things that really weren't released in that format on home consoles. And you can also play it via this HDMI cable. You can also play it on a giant TV. But that does not look brilliant. That's something I have found, is that it does not look fantastic when it's on a huge TV. If you're rocking an a 4K massive TV, it's going to give you headaches. So I would say it's more suited to smaller TVs or handheld, of which both are fantastic experiences. I'm really, really enjoying this unit. It is a really cool thing to have. So yeah, the games look great. They sound great. I don't think the sound is coming from the game in this now. I think it's just the menu where it's coming through. But it's the full games. The audio is great. The audio sounds really good on headphones. I must say that it really works well with headphones. Something I have found that I'm not a fan of is the tape mode, or tate, as some people I've heard some people saying. So most of the games you will play will be like standard sort of side-scrolling ones like this. Can't go wrong with a bit of Splatterhouse. So most of them are side-scrolling and they look fantastic. Let's turn the sound up on here so you can get some of the... No, it's not coming through. Okay, I'll just leave it like that. There'll be music under this when I put it out, don't worry. So most of them, they look fantastic. They sound fantastic. The sidebars either side, you can leave those dark, or you can select to have like bezels with the artwork on, or different designs and things. It's a really cool device, and like I say, it lasts absolutely ages. It does feel really, really good in the hands. It's very comfortable when played in the regular side-scrolling format, but we'll get to what's uncomfortable in a moment. So if I go back to the menu. And let me pick up something that's tape mode. So in the Capcom bundle, there's all the 1942 games. Let's go to 1943. That's a really good one. Not sure how this will look, so I think this will flip round. Let's see how it goes. So that's in regular mode. You can see the background there that you can pop on. Now pressing the little button on the bottom, and it switches around to sideways. So then you play it vertically, and that's great for some games. It's really good for some games. That it really works very well. However, let me switch it into regular mode again. However, when you are playing it like this, it's really uncomfortable, because when you're playing it this way, the buttons are where you would imagine them to be on this side over here. However, when it's in tape mode, you are just using these two buttons here, and it becomes really unwieldy to hold to play that way. So, which is a shame. It is a shame that it becomes really uncomfortable to play that. But you know, if it is too uncomfortable, you can play it regular mode like this, show you how not very good at shooting games I am, and but it is a really good unit. There's so many games coming out for it. I want to check out for Void, which is a one game cartridge. I'm not sure how I feel about a cartridge just having one game on it, as I'm used to getting these cartridges with multi games on, which is a really cool way. It brings the price down. It makes it very, very financially sound to go and get these games, because you're not just getting one. You are going to get a bundle with each cartridge. Not all of the games will be to your taste. You may not love all of them, but there will be something on each cartridge which you will adore, as I have found with all the ones I've got so far, and I really, really do recommend it. It's not expensive either, I don't think, for the value here, with the monthly updates and the free games on there and the number of games you can get on these cartridges. I don't think this is a bad deal at all. Choose the renovation one, for example. There are 12 games on this cartridge. 12 games. Now, when you're looking at new games now with like £60–70, it gets a lot. Let's go and have a look at Doodle World. This is such a fun one. But I do think it is holding up really well. The tape mode, I do play it sometimes like that, but it's not ideal. It's not ideal at all. I don't know how I would improve it. I'm not sure how I would improve it. Maybe, I don't know, if you're going to put it in tape mode, maybe put the buttons on the side or something. I don't know how you would fix it. Or maybe you could put them a little further up, so that they are all right for it's a bit more comfortable with your thumb. Maybe on the side there. I don't know how you would manage it. There are also triggers on the top, which I haven't really used the triggers or the bumper buttons just yet, but it's an interesting one to explore, as well as all the retro games. The range is look at this is so cool, just like old notepads. I love it's such a fun one, and you are avoiding rubbers, so you never really know what you're going to find when you get the monthly download games or anything like that. Let's come out of here. Yeah, you never know what you're going to find. It is really easy to do as well. So you can change the display. Let's have a look at the display. So you can change the aspect ratio. You can add scan lines if you want. You can turn the bezels off. So I have it in original ratio at the moment. So you can change the theme. You can sort out the sounds. You can make sure it's connected to your network. It is really, really good. Ooh, system. Oh, there's an update. Excellent. I will go and have a look at the update after doing this and see if there's a new game. But it is a really, really strong console, and the form factor means it's very easy to carry. I was a little not worried, but I did notice that it's very small. But it is sturdy. It's really well made. It's a really cool bit of kit. And honestly, if you want some retro gaming experience, if you want to play retro games galore, I mean, absolutely loads of them. There are tons of titles for this without spending a crazy amount on retro games consoles and retro games cartridges themselves. This is a brilliant way to go. It's great for traveling. Oh my god, it is so good for traveling. The volume controls are a little fiddly. Tiny bit fiddly, not so that it gets in the way of anything, but they can be a bit of a pest. What else shall I show you? Strider, because Strider is a glorious thing. Strider's a great fun game. So it does take a little moment for it to. It takes maybe 30 seconds for the unit to warm up, to boot up and everything. But it is a really cool piece of kit that I urge any retro gaming fan, or indeed any old farts that want to check out something cool again, I do encourage any of you to have a go. Let's play some Strider for a minute. It handles really well. The controls are really comfy. So trying to speak as well at the same time will not be ideal. But I just want to show you that show you a bit of actual gameplay on it. You see, they look great. They look like how you remember these games. And who wouldn't want to just relive some of this stuff without having to go to an arcade, without having to plug in a console or needing a dedicated space? If you are stuck for space, the Evercade is a great way to have a retro games collection. I know that is a bit of a, I know that's blasphemy. I know the big thing in for a lot of retro game collectors is the original consoles, the original games, you know, that feel of having the actual thing itself. But financially speaking and space-wise, this is a much better prospect for me anyway. This scratches the retro gaming itch that I regularly have, and it means you can get games very easily and very cheaply. If you measure up the amount of use and the amount of enjoyment you're going to get out of this for the cost of the cartridges, it was great. I mean, this was the unit itself, brand new, was £130. I think it's still the same on Amazon, and I do thoroughly recommend that you check it out if you have any interest in retro games, or if you just remember the arcades. There's so much arcade fun to have on here. Yeah, you can get stuff like Galaga, so you're playing the classics, but you're also going to find some hidden gems, things you hadn't played in the arcades. And there's also indie games. They have a lot of indie games cartridges where there's new stuff that's been made with that retro 8-bit, 16-bit vibe that you can really get into as well. I greatly recommend the Evercade EXP. It's so fun. And that's the main thing that I wanted from it. I wanted some fun. And this is something that has really delivered in spades. And I'm very pleased that I have it. So, I want to go play a little bit of Strider, I think. Carry on playing a bit of Strider and see how far I get. Not very far. As you can see, as I'm talking as well, I'm dying a lot. But everyone that remembers Strider, I bet would go, oh God, yeah, I need Strider. I need a fun copy of Strider I can have without breaking the bank. And that's just, that sums the Evercade up really, really easily. Yeah, so the drawbacks I've found over these few months of having the Evercade EXP are the tape mode. It's nice, it's fun, it works well for the games that are on there, but it can become uncomfortable. The sound is a little bit, not dubious, but it's a little tricky to get to the right level, depending what sort of space you're in or what sort of area you're in. You know, if there's people around, you don't want to have it too high. I do recommend the headphone jack. It sounds great. It makes these games have never sounded better. Not entirely sure what these are for, but the form factor is great. The catalog, the library of games available is insane. It's extremely good. Very, very good. So I do urge any of you to check it out. So does the Evercade EXP hold up? Yeah, it holds up really well. If you like this sort of thing, please do like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate that. Normally I talk about VHS tapes and old horror movies, and I talk about this film way too much, Trick or Treat. I talk about that way too much. So maybe I should talk about like Weird Science or something instead, you know. I shall revisit a bunch of stuff. If you do like this sort of content, please do like and subscribe. Put these out each week. Normally in the week I do some short review videos. I haven't done that this week because it's been chaos with the end of the summer holidays for the kids, so it's all been a bit chaotic here at Castle Horn. But please do check out what else I've got on the channel. I hope you find something you enjoy. So thank you very much for watching this episode of Planet Hex.